observing a yard site during our mincha service, please rise and feel free online to enable your microphones as we recite together the Kaddish Atom Mourner's Kaddish, page 12. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabba Yalma Dibarak Hirute v'yamlich Malchute v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Lamei Almaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemei Dekudusha Briachu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran bi'olma v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'meromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
That concludes our abbreviated mincha service. We're going to go right into Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming the Shabbat bride. Shalom Aleichem, page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue with Lechuna Ranana, top of page 15. Lechuna Ranana l'Adonai, Nari aletzor yisheinu, Nekadma pana b'todah, Bizmirot nari alo, Nekadma pana b'todah, Bizmirot nari alo. Shall we learn arts photography? You will hear about the word too, but I don't know. She's no good. They can come in. Folly. Arba'im shana kupidor va'omar anto elevavim ve'im lo yadu drachai asher nishbati v'api im yavon al menuchati. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, Kol ha'aretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom le'yom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kehevodo, B'chol ha'amim nifleotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Umehu meod Norahu Al kol Elohim ay ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim vadonai shamayim asab od v'chadar lefanav oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho Amvul Adonai Mishpachot Amim Amvul Adonai Kavod Baos Amvul Adonai kevod shemo zeu minacha uvomu lechatzrotav ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrak kodesh pilu mipanav kol haaretz imru v'goyim Adonai malach aftikon tevel b'halatimot Yadin amim b'mei sharim yismechu shamayim b'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelo yalo sadai v'chol asher bo az yiranenu kol atzeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel Betzedek Ve'amim Be'emunato Yai la 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 yai la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yada, lai, 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 lai. Page 17. I'm a lot to get on rats. He's Mechuyim Rabbi. Orzaruala tzadik, Uyishrei lev simcha, Simchu tzadikim badonai, Meodu lezecher kodsho. Mizmor shel Adonai shir chadash, Ki niflot ha'asa, Shel oimi knows roa kodsho, The Adonai shel Elohim yilot zikato, Zachar. Arri l'nai chorz pizza bronu, Zamir Zamir. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel betzedek miamim b'mei sharim Adonai malach yirgezu amim yoshev krivim tanud haaretz and I'm Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu Behar Kadeshahu Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu Behar Kadeshahu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romenu. We now rise for the same psalm we do on Saturday mornings when we process the Torah around to the ark and return it. Mizmor LeDavid, Psalm 29, page 20. Mizmor LeDavid, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai kavod. Va'oz havul Adonai kivod shemo Ishtachavul Adonai v'hadrak kodesh Kol Adonai al hamayim El hakavod nehirim Adonai al ma'im rabim Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai razei almanon, Vayarkideim kemo egel, Levanon v'Sirion Kimoven Re'emim Kol Adonai Chotzeva Hamotesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yechol Elayalot Vayechesaf Ye'arot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod Adonai lama buli ashav Vayeshev Adonai melech liolam Adonai oz liam moitin Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Please be seated as we welcome in the Shabbat bride officially with Lachado D, page 21. Lechadodi lihikra kala pene Shabbat ne'kabela. Lechadodi lihikra kala pene Shabbat ne'kabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmiyanu el ameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo letiferet v'helitilat Lechadodi lihikra kala B'nei Shabbat ne'kabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha Ki mekor Haberacha merosh mikedem Ne'esucha Sof ma'aseh b'machashavat techila Lechadodi lihikra kala B'nei Shabbat ne'kabela Mikdash melech ir melucha akumitzei mitorat v'charav lach shevet b'yemeka ba'aka v'hu yachamol alayechem la lechadodi lihikra kala b'nei Shabbat ne'kabela itna ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei Tifartechami aliyah ben Yishai beit halachmi korva el nafshi ge'alah lechadodi likra kala b'nei Shabbat ne'kabela itoreri kiva orech Kumi uri shir da be'eri kvod Adonai alayech niglab lechadodi likra kala yalalai pnei Shabbat nekabela ay lechadodi likra kala yalalai pnei Shabbat nekabela Lo tevoshi velo tikalmi ma tishtochachi uma atehemi Bachi yachasu ani ami benibneta iratila Lechadodi likrakala yalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela yalalai lechadodi likrakala yalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela v'hayulim shisa shoasayich v'rachaku komeval ayich yasis alayich Elohayich Imsos Hatana Kahala Lechadodi Likrakala yalalai B'nei Shabbat Nekabela ay Lechadodi Likrakala yalalai B'nei Shabbat Nekabela ay Amin Ismo Tiferotzi Yet Adonai Ta'aritzi Aliyadish ben parzi v'nismecha v'nagila lechadodi likrakala yalalai b'nei Shabbat nekabela ay Lechadori likrakala yalala 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret balab gam besimcha u'v'tzoholam toch emunei am segula. Boi chala lechadodi likrakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrakala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please be seated and officially Shabbat Shalom. We are there. Page 23. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat tov leodod ladonai ulezamer leshimcha elyon ulezamer leshimcha elyon lehagi baboker chastecha ve'emunatecha balelot alei asor v'alei navel alei higayon bechinor mizmor shir leyom hashabbat tov lehodol Adonai ulezamer leshimcha elyon ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Dadikata hamar yiferach Kieres balevanon yiskem shetulim beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Ya'averichu Ad Yenevon Beseima Deshenim Birananim Yom Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Suri Velo Avlatabo. Eidotecha ne'emenu me'od leveitcha na'ava kodesh Adonai yorech yamikim. Those in mourning or observing a yard site during the Mariv service, please rise. Those online, feel free to enable your microphones. Kaddish Yatom, Mourners Kaddish. Bottom of page 24. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabba,
Amen.
Yalma Divarak Kirute, Yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv Imru, Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach, Ve'elam Alamei Almaya, Yiparach, V'ishtabach, V'ipa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'itadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Kudusha Briachum. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran mi'olma v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Aseh shalom b'miramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen.
Amen.
Maybe seated, Shabbat shalom. I'm going to talk for just a tiny bit, but it's going to be a little bit interactive. How many of you are retired? Are retired? You're not really sure. Okay. We got some people on the fence here. How many of you are jealous of those? No. How many, how many of you are not retired? Okay. There you go. So for those of you that are retired, do you miss working? I see some big time shakes of the head. No. So what is it that you don't miss about working? Freedom. Okay. Wait, anything else to add, or you said lack of stress? You're having to get in rush hour traffic in Atlanta where the traffic's always terrible every time of day, and running late or running behind and trying to catch up and make sure you get your stuff done. And if you go on vacation, you got to catch up from that. And so it's like no vacation at all. And you just keep deadlines, you keep work, and you were in accounting, right? So, right. And that's stressful. And for me, I mean, look, I went to law school, I made a choice, right? So, at the end of the week, I remember asking an associate at my old firm, I said, what days do you like better, Mondays or Fridays? And he said, oh, that's easy, Fridays. I said, I'm almost at the point where I like Mondays better. Why is that? Because I've actually had 2 days to rest and relax. I mean, I actually have energy when I walk into the building on Monday morning. Friday afternoon, drag me out, right? I see some shakes of the head. Yes. Okay. So, and so for those of us that are still working, I think we can relate to those things that the people that aren't working don't miss, right? Because we're still living that. And I think a lot of times when people ask people that are working, how are you doing? The answer is not necessarily good. It's not, oh, I'm miserable. Oh, I'm just so busy. I know I say it all the time. I'm guilty of it. I say, oh, I'm so busy. Um, I've got the full-time job. I've got what I do at the synagogue. When do I get this? I always say my half day off each week is after services on Saturday, and I go and vegetate. I do nothing. I mean, and it feels good, but it's half a day a week. So why are we talking about this? Because you think you got it bad. How about our ancestors in this week's Parsha? Shemot, right? So it starts off, there's a king who knew not Joseph, which is amazing how fast we forget people that were so important to us. But then we get to a place where it's hard labor. So for me, sometimes it's mentally taxing, right? But I'm not, and frankly, there's rewards with it. What rewards did our ancestors get? Not much. I mean, they got a little bit of food, a little bit of water, but they were so trained after a while that when they escaped, they didn't even know what to do with the freedom. And that's sad, right? That's a sad thing. And so as much as those of us in the work world complain, and there's different complaints in every generation. I mean, we were talking before the service about how last week we had to move the service back an hour and a half. What about the fact that Zoom exists now? If you really want to, you don't even have to drive to Shoal to come to services. Okay, you can watch them online in your pajamas. I mean, it's unbelievable. And and for those of us that come, we complain that praying is hard work. Well, what did our ancestors do? They sacrificed animals. I mean, I'll take the prayer every day. Like, I'd rather not sacrifice animals. Maybe that's a 21st century way of thinking, but that's how I feel. And then, of course, we know that, I mean, how sad is it? About 80 years ago, you have the gate that says Arbeit macht frei, right? Work makes you free. Hardly. We know what happened with some of those folks, a lot of those folks, 6 million of those folks, our relatives, our ancestors. So my wish for everybody, whether you're working or retired, well, if you're retired, enjoy your retirement. I'm jealous. For those of you that are not working, that are not retired but are working, hopefully you enjoy what you do. Thank God that in these days we have a choice, and hopefully you get rewarded properly for it, whether it be compensation, vacation, whatever it may be. And may you find your purpose in the world rather than just being a slave. Shabbat shalom. All right, I would love to tell you that we're going to light the candles, but we're not because it's dark out. They should have been lit before the service. They weren't. So I walked in. I'm like, it's too late. So they're not going to be lit. Hopefully they're already lit at your home where somebody's watching them, and they've been that way for an hour and a half now, but okay, or whatever. We're going to have June Newmark lead us in Mariv. She does such a good job every week almost. She comes and does this. And she's going to sit down because
Yes, she is.
For those of you that don't come every week, we're the broken foot crew, right? We both have feet problems, but she's still recovering, so she's gonna sit down and leave the service. In the absence of a meeting here physically, we're gonna begin in the middle of page 28.
El Chai, v'kayom tamid yimlo halenu le'olam v'hed, Baruch atah Adonai, Amahariv Aravim. Page 29. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Am ha'ahavata, Torah u'mitzvot, u'kimu mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shobeinu u'hukumeinu, Nasiya behukecha, V'nisma b'divrei Toratecha, U'v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'hed. Hihen hayenu be'yora yameinu be'yora yameinu. Uvahem dege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla. V'yavacha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 30, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahaveta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol dashecha v'chol meodecha v'chayu adavarim ha'eleh asher anohi mitzavecha chayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'vitecha, uvlechtecha v'deret, uvshobecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'chayu l'totelfo b'neinecha, uvtavtam al mezuso beitecha, uvisharecha. Adonai Elohim Emet. Page 32. Umalchuto bepratzon kiplu aleihem. Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechahanu shira v'simcha rabba v'amru kulam. Mi chamocha v'helim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar bakodesh nohora tehilos o sefeleh malchutecha rahu vanecha bokei ayom lifnei Moshe zeheli anu v'chamru Adonai yimlo leolam v'hed v'nehemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad hasak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Goal Yisrael. On page 33 and 34, please join with me for the Hashkivenu in English. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al amo Yisroel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 34. Please stand for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam ay beini uvein b'nei Yisrael o le'olam Ishet yamin asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinavash. The Amida for Shabbat begins on pages 35A and 35B and continues to page 47, and this is recited silently. If you have completed your Amida, please join with me at the bottom of page 38 for Ose Shalom. Ose Shalom Bimromav, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'hakol Yisrael, Imru, Amen. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'hakol Yisrael, Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, v'yakol Yisroel, v'himigru, Amen. At the top of page 47, the Vayahulu. Vayahulu hashamayim ve'haaretz, v'chol tzevam, Vayecha Elohim bayom hashvi'i melato asher asa. Vayishbok bayom hashvi'i mikol melato asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vaykadesh oto. Hivo shava mikol melato asher barak Elohim lasot. Page 48. Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Ritzei, Bimnu Hatenu, Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, B'tein Helkenu, B'toratecha, Zahabenu mituvecha, B'samhenu b'shuvatecha, B'taher libenu, Lehovtecha, B'emet, B'chadilenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'ahavahu ratzon, Shabbat kodeshecha, Ve'nuhu va'Yisrael, Me'kadeshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Me'kadesh HaShabbat. Kaddish Shalom. No, sorry, not Kaddish Shalom. And yes, please take your cup of wine or juice and join me for the Kiddush on page 49. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, ve'avahu v'ratzon, inhilanu, zikaron l'machaseh b'reishit. He who yom tehillah b'mikraye kodesh, zeher l'tzihat mitzrayim, Ivanu b'harta, ve'otanu idashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'avahu ratzon, in haltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Continue with the Elenu on page 51. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula l'ritzei bereshit, shelo asanu k'gayei haratzot, velo hosamanu kimishpot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kachem, v'gor valenu kilho hamonam, Anachnu korim, umishavim umodim, lifnei melech, malhei hamlahim, hakadosh baruch hu. Kakatu v'toratecha, Adonai himlo, leolam v'ed, v'neimar, hayak Adonai, v'melech al haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, Ushemo Echad.
Please be seated. We note the recent deaths in our congregation of Dr. Milton Butch Frank, father to Amy Sue and Neil Mazier, Buddy Frank and Elizabeth Mattis, Namgiel, and Stephen and Ivy Frank, loving grandfather, great-grandfather, and brother. LCR Oppenheimer Krause, mother to Dr. Stephen and Lori Oppenheimer, Lori and Ken Greenblatt, Mark and Marcy Oppenheimer, as well as their grandmother, great-grandmother, sister, and sister-in-law. And of course, Dr. Marty Reish, husband of Rhoda Lefkoff Reish, father to Kenneth Sherry Reish and Gregory and Abby Reish, and loving grandfather to 4. Natalie Halpern, mother of Larry, Peggy, and Harold Deborah Halpern, loving grandmother to 7 and great-grandmother of 9. Shirley Diamond, mother of Eric and Ellen Diamond, Jody Diamond, and Renee and John Roos, grandmother of Adam Roos and Megan Roos, loving aunt to many nieces and nephews. Alan Stein, husband to Myrna, father of Barry Lynn Calais, Ian Buddha, and Debbie Mazer and Dan, grandfather of Alex Calais and Sadie Mazer, and Betty Braver, loving aunt and great aunt to many nieces and nephews and loving cousins. And Rosalie Mendelbaum Cohen, sister-in-law of Alan and Pam Cohen. We now begin the 18th of the month of Tevet, and we note the yard sites this evening and tomorrow of Sheldon Ezor, father to Robert Ezor, Phyllis B. Friedman, mother-in-law to Jeannie Friedman, Harry Eitel, grandfather to Susan Silverboard, Frances Levy, the mother of Barbara Kleber, Daniel Lippett, the son of Linda Nathanson Lippett and Alan Lippett, Edward Ralph Roberts, father of Gary Roberts, Erwin Wiener, husband to Lynn Wiener, and Terry Frudenthal, mother of Debbie and Nancy Frudenthal. Okay. And we also note the names of those who whose relatives come in. Remember them mornings and evenings at the Minion. Elsie Oppenheimer Kraus, Marty Captain Tom Anston, Alan Stein, Paul Hovitz, Martin Edelman, Janice Salzman, Florence Gussman, Susan Udovin, Jay Hammer, Linda Brzozowski, Glenn Evans, Lucy Carson, Arlene Wildstein, Patricia Cohen, Dr. Edward Jones Smith, Robin Mizell, Lou Schloss, Philip Kaplan, Brandon Reisman, all victims of the Israeli war, Charlotte Korenblum, Shirley Miller, Stork Galashoff, Edna Helfer, and Susan Caller. Did I omit any names? Those in mourning observing a yard site, please rise and those online, feel free again to enable your microphones as we continue with the Kaddish Tome, Mourner's Kaddish, page 52. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabab.
Amen.
Yalma divarak hirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kariv imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam lamei almaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shemei Kudusha Brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Ta'amiran be'olma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Before June concludes the service with Yigdal in a moment, just a few very quick announcements. So you've all heard of things like Doctors Without Borders. Well, tomorrow we're going to have Shabbat Without Rabbis. Okay, it's a special program. That's not a special program. But they'll be back next week, so that's good. Both Rabbi Rosenthal and Rothbaum. Rosenthal is in Baltimore, my hometown, and that's of course that's where his family lives. And then he's got a wedding to tend to. And Rabbi Rothbaum is in Germany, I believe, with Anthony. Anthony's singing over there, so kind of a big deal. Yeah. But they'll all be back next week. So last week on Friday night, we were supposed to be in the sanctuary and the Mashor Reem were supposed to sing. And that was an epic fail because of the weather. So we will hopefully do that. Well, we're scheduled to do it again February 28th. So hopefully that will happen. And hopefully the weather will be nice that night. We'll have an extra 7 weeks to practice. Andy and Mindy, I believe, will lead that one as they were supposed to this time. Potluck dinner after that. So please come and sing with the singers, if you will. Be a singer. Join us, if you will, February 28th. There's stuff going on before that. Next week, we celebrate the Rosenthal family, and he's been here for 16 years so far. And so that should be a very special week. A lot of events going on during the service. More details to follow when I put them in a service order sometime this week. We'll get there. Anything else I'm leaving out? I'm trying to remember anything cultural arts or anything like that this Sunday, cultural arts. Ivan, if you're listening, I remembered. Okay. Cultural arts this Sunday. Do you know who it is? Okay, but it's almost always at 3:00. So, okay. And then morning tomorrow, we are going to go back to starting at 9:30, weather permitting tomorrow, which it should permit. And I'm going to call Mincha for 4:45 tomorrow because 4:30 is too early. And then back to Minyan 9:00 Sunday morning. I'll be leading at 6:00 online. just before the Ravens game begins at 6:30. So that'll be Sunday evening. And we are ready to finish with Yigdal on page 53.
Yigdal Elohim Chai v'hi Shabbat Nibsa v'hein heit el mitziuto Echad v'ein yahid k'yihudo Ne'lam v'gan ein sof le'aduto Ein lo demut chaguf v'hein o guf Lo nacharoch elav kedush achato Gadmon l'chol davar asher nivra Rishon v'ein reshit l'reshito Hino v'adon olam v'chol notzar Yoreh gedulato u'malchuto Shulchan nevuato netano Ela anshe segulato v'tiparto Lo kam b'Yisrael k'Moshe God Navihu mahabit et emunato Torah temet natan le'am olel Al yad neviho le'man beito Lo yachid lefachel ve'lo yamir dato le'olamim le'zulachato So Fabio dea zetarenu Mabit l'sof davar bekad mato Gomeil ish hesed v'mifalo Noten l'rasha ra k'risha halo Vishlale chami meshichenu Lifto v'chakeke yeshuvato Metim yechayel verov hasdo Baruch adehai Shem tehilato Metim yechayel verov hasdo Baruch adehai Shem tehilato Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, sweetie.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Brina.
Shabbat Shalom.
Nice to